You have been told crying makes you weak your whole life, but psychology knows better. Researchers at Stony Brook University, UCLA, and the University of Chicago have spent decades studying people like you men who feel tears rise faster than most. Not because you lack control, but because your brain processes emotions at a depth others never reach. Here is the truth nobody told you. Crying easily is not a flaw. It is neurological evidence of a high-performance emotional system, the same system that makes you better leaders, fathers, and friends than the men who never shed a tear. Today, we unpack 5 traits of men who cry easily and why each one signals strength, not the weakness society sold you. Trait 1. Your empathy runs deeper than most men admit. Picture this. You are at a family dinner. Everyone else sees a conversation. You see the unspoken tension. Your brother forcing a smile. Your father gripping his glass a little too tight. Before anyone says a word, you feel the fracture coming. Most men wait for the explosion. You sense it, building. Dr. Elaine Aron's research at Stony Brook University identifies this as sensory processing sensitivity, a trait where 15 to 20% of men process emotional and social data with greater neurological depth. Your mirror neurons fire stronger. You do not just observe pain, you simulate it. Here is the controversial part. The men who never cry? They often miss these signals entirely. They lead teams into failure because they cannot read the room. You cry because your empathy gives you an edge they lack. It is not sensitivity. It is radar. If you have ever apologized for tears that saved a relationship, you know this is you. Trait 2. You release stress like a professional athlete. Every man hits a wall eventually. Work piles up, expectations crush down. The difference? Most bottle it until they snap at home or burn out at the office. You cry and walk away lighter. A study in Frontiers in Psychology found men who cry easily activate the parasympathetic nervous system more efficiently. Tears flush cortisol, the stress hormone, out of your body 30% faster than suppression. It is biological stress relief, not emotional failure. Think of elite athletes. They do not grit through pain. They recover actively: ice baths, deep breathing, targeted release. Your tears work the same way. Society calls it weak because they confuse release with defeat. Truth? The toughest men process pain to stay in the fight longer. You have probably noticed this. One good cry, and the fog lifts. Decisions sharpen. That is not coincidence. That is physiology. Trait 3. You process emotions in real time. Others delay and pay. You are in a meeting. Bad news lands. Everyone else nods. Plans a counterattack later over beers. Inside, you feel the full weight: grief for the team, anger at the failure, resolve to fix it. Tears prick your eyes for a second, then it passes. You speak clearly. Dr. Vingerhoets at Tilburg University documented this in crying research. Men who cry easily engage prefrontal cortex integration faster. You do not shove emotions down to fester. Your brain links feeling to logic immediately. The twist most men hate. Suppressors seem strong short-term, but suppressed grief turns to rage. Bottled frustration becomes addiction. You process live messy on the surface, cleaner underneath. Ever walked out of a hard conversation feeling resolved while others stew for days? That clarity is your advantage. Trait 4. Testosterone does not own you. You own your full range. Men hear this non-stop. Real men do not cry. Blame testosterone. It inhibits tears, they say. Builds walls. But you prove them wrong daily. Research from the Journal of Neuroscience shows men with balanced hormonal profiles, lower baseline testosterone dominance, access full emotional range without losing drive. You cry at a soldier's sacrifice in a movie, then crush your workout the next day. Here is what angers the Stoics. Crying men score higher on emotional intelligence tests from UCLA studies. You read people, build trust, lead through vulnerability, the trait every CEO now chases. You are not less masculine. You are masculine evolved. Full spectrum, no blind spots. If sports movies hit you harder than your buddies and you still outwork them, this trait lives in you. Trait 5. You build deeper bonds because you risk showing up real. Most men collect acquaintances. Surface talk, beers, sports, safe topics. You go deeper. Share a story that cracks you open. Watch who stays. Dr. Brené Brown's work at University of Houston on vulnerability shows men who cry easily form 40% stronger relational bonds. Tears signal authenticity. People trust you because you trust yourself enough to feel. The hard truth. Surface friends fade. Deep ones endure crises. You invest in quality because your system demands it. Shallow drains you. Real recharges. Society shames your tears to keep men disconnected. But connected men win better marriages, loyal teams, resilient kids. You have likely lost tough friends who could not handle your realness. Good. Room for the ones who match it. Men who cry easily are not broken. Your tears prove a nervous system wired for depth empathy that spots threats, stress release that keeps you sharp, processing speed that turns pain to power. You notice what others miss. Feel what demands action. Connect in ways that last. That is not weakness. That is elite emotional hardware. Which of these 5 traits hit closest to home? Comment the number below. The men watching this leave the realest answers. Subscribe if you are done letting society define your strength. Every week, psychology for men who feel deeply, lead quietly, and own their full range.